This is Louis D. Fresh, bringing it to you on a Wednesday. There we go. I lose track of time. Today we're going to be talking about, I'm going to finish up the 3-part series of my turtles, the species of the turtles. I talked about the yellow-bellied slider and the red-bellied slider that are my 75-gallon tank. And thankfully, I was sidetracked for a couple of months, I think, because I had a privilege of visiting stores that carry fish and turtles and all that stuff, and local mom and pop stores. I told you I'm very big on that because I know the chain stores won't let me go in there because of company policy or whatever, but the mom and pop stores are always down to have me come by, and so I was very blessed, and so that's why I am picking up now this last segment, at least for now, this particular segment of turtles, and I'm going to finish up the Musk turtle, which is the little turtle that I acquired about 3 years ago. Let me give you a quick synopsis here. In the school that I was working in full time, now I'm their volunteer counselor because I'm a supervisor now. But I had the special ed class high schoolers. They wanted a pet, and they knew I liked pets and all that stuff, and they wanted a turtle. So, but I said I knew I wasn't going to have a huge turtle because I know how big turtles get. So I wanted to get a smaller turtle. So the smaller turtle, and I did some research, was I found a stink pot or a musk turtle. And I'll explain what the heck, why a stink pot, why it's called that. And I found that was one of the smallest turtles to house. And they didn't need much room because I knew that I was going to get a free tank from Pet Supermarket. And I didn't want to spend a lot of money because I knew this wasn't going to be my turtle. And I foresaw, kind of say, hey, I'm going to be there a while. I like the school. But then COVID hit, and the turtle became mine. And because I for literally a year and a half, that there was no in-person, learning. So the turtle stayed with me, and now I became a supervisor, and then this turtle just stayed with me. So I'm glad that I chose a smaller turtle because, number one, they enjoyed it for the year that they had it, and number two, I don't need much room. And so that is why, and that's why I got him. And his name is Bowser. That was the ESC, the special ed high school class named him Bowser. So I left the name Bowser. And so that is why I'm going to talk about Bowser, the magical musk turtle. Right, now, what the story is, there's the pictures there of musk turtle or stink pot turtle. These are from Canva. These are little cartoons and actual pictures that were on Canva. You can see that generally they do stay smaller. Now, the unique features of this turtle is, as I mentioned in my little monologue, is that they don't grow very big, thankfully. So usually a 30-gallon tank will suffice. I have mine in a 10-gallon tank, and that's where he's going to stay. But normally turtles need, truthfully, 100 gallons. I mean, if you're going to do it right, even though I'm doing it wrong in my other tanks. In my other turtles, they really, really do need about 100 gallons for regular, whatever regular is, turtles. But these guys, a 30-gallon tank will do, and mine in the 10-gallon tank, that will be the situation. And why it's called a stink pot turtle is because when they are threatened, they will release a foul, musky odor, sort of like a skunk will. Not necessarily like passing gas, but they do get scared, and then they will emit that odor. I've never scared mine because he's known me for so long, and he's been traveling, and he's gone to he's so cool with me, so I've never had that problem. But that's what they say, that they do release that odor. So, moving on, they do need heat. They do need a basking area, but they're not big on basking like that. And basking as such. Sometimes turtles will spend hours and hours and hours and hours basking. These guys don't, but they do need a hot spot. I'm gonna show you here. This is what I use for my hot spot for the turtle, and I usually 50 watts will do because it is a smaller tank, and it goes to this lamp right here. And if you touch that, it is indeed hot. You go right down here. Right there is where he will heat up, and that is the basking area for him. Let me move this back here. Then we got the light, the UVB light, which is a must for the turtle because, and all turtles, because they will turn that into, that light will convert the calcium that they get like from the fish that they eat, and it will convert to the vitamin D3, which is essential for the shell. That's an example of the shell, and it looks like this, like an energy efficient bulb, but it's not. But I'm showing you as an example. As I press my little button here, this is a UVB light, and since I have them here, I thought I'd show you because I'm kind of crazy. I like to always have a replacement because God forbid it just goes out and like, oh my God, what do I do? So this is my UVB light. You can see it looks a lot like a energy efficient bulb, and it goes to this canopy right here, right? You can see it's a deeper dome. So if you're gonna get it, you make sure it's a deeper dome so it fits, and you'll see it's right here, and he'll hang out right here to convert that for his shell. Let's move it back here and press the old button. Before I talk about food, I want to show you also, I have this thing called a Repto filter. Nice and cheap. Let me tell you, Chewy.com. I don't know how it is around the country, if that exists, but here in the Southeast, boy, they're a find. Nice and cheap. So here I get the Repto filters, and that's what I use. And let me show you right here. That is the filter that I use, and I change out that filter every other week. I know it's all beat up, but that's life. That's reality, And it keeps the water, as you can see, pretty clear. Here's my man, there's my man Bowser. But you see, that filter really does a nice job. Really does a nice job. So, continuing, so I don't have to press the button here. The food that they will eat earthworms, crickets, fish, shrimp. But realize the size of your turtle, right? You don't want to get something crazy. You don't want to, like choke them with a big old cricket. Get the smaller size crickets, and never get them wild caught, because you don't know what kind of chemicals are in the soil or whatever. Always there, you definitely want to hit a pet store and buy your crickets, buy your fish. You don't want to get them from the local pond, in my opinion, because they carry parasites. Better to get them from a fish store, a pet store. Shrimp, usually the ghost shrimp, that will do just fine, and they're nice and small, so we can eat them. And the commercial pellets. I figure while I'm rolling along here, these are the commercial pellets that I'm talking about right here. So you can see, they're little pellets. You see them? You see little pellets there? He loves these pellets. He really loves these pellets. He goes crazy over them. I feed him about twice a week, and he loves it. He really does. And let's look at my friend here. Wait. Before I go there, let's continue, because I am rolling along. The last thing that I wanted to share with you guys was choosing a Musk turtle. Go to a reputable specialist, not just a general pet store. What I mean by that is you really do this. I think is a must. You don't want to go to a regular pet store like a Pet Supermarket, Pet Smart, any of that stuff. You want to go to somewhere that they specialize in reptiles. A good mom and pop store that will give you a good solid turtle, because these, like this guy, this Bowser guy, he's gonna live, please God, for 30 to 50 years. So you're making a lifetime commitment to this turtle. And that brings me to the other thing. What you can do is you go to a research facility, you do some research, and you'll find an agency that has rescue turtles available, because some people don't realize how big a commitment it is. And then they're like, oh my God, and then they'll give it up. And then that's where the rescue comes in, and you can rescue a turtle and give it a home. So that is it. So I wanted to share with you here. This again is my little setup here, my little 10-gallon tank. I got a little screen cover here, so you can put these. I can have these lights here, the UVB light here over here, that good for his shell. The UVA light here for heating for his shell. I also do have a timer over here. The timer is so I don't have to worry about when the light goes on, when the light goes off. And the other two over here are the two other plugs. One is for the filter and one is for the heater, which is right back here. You'll see the heater is right back there, because I do have, you see the black one? That's the heater. You see the red light is usually on, because if you go straight up, I have the air conditioner. I live in South Florida, so that air conditioner vent is on, and I don't want him getting a draft and getting sick. So that's why I do have that heater there. And like I said, I do have this ramp. He needs this ramp so he can come up to bask for heat and to convert the vitamin D into calcium for his shell. And there he is, Bowser again, because this is really unique also to him. He's a bad swimmer, believe it or not, and being a bad swimmer, he needs help to get onto the dock. And being that he is not the swiftest and most relaxed kind of turtle, he'll rip open these plants. He will, because that's how he is, you know. And there's no safe plant for a turtle. Like after probably it's the month of end of November, probably the end of January, I'm gonna have to buy some new plants, because he'll tear them up, because as he's reaching and he's clawing away and he's looking to get these little fish good for his good calcium, he will uproot these, he'll tear them up. And but that's okay. I realize that, and so that's kind of important that you realize, hey, plants are not safe with turtles, and that's all right. That's totally okay. As I mentioned in my social media, do not get them blue or colored pebbles like this. The reason being is that he will indeed, he could choke on these things, and you don't want that. So that's really it in a nutshell. And again, I have a little stand here, and like I said, I really don't worry about this guy. He's been with me for 3 years. Really a great contribution here to the Louis D. Fresh household. This is my only indoor animal, except for my good friend down here, which is he's hiding out right now. I don't know. Oh, there he is. A crown tail beta. And I will also have something for my birthday in March that I will share with you when I get it. But so that ends my 3-part series. I will definitely relate to him again, just for fun, something new, anything that I want to accentuate, or you know, maybe have a turtle miscellaneous thing. And I wanted you to really enjoy this guy, because I know he's not being very active right now, because he does get shy with this camera. I don't know why. He really does. He's like, no pictures, please. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. And if you were looking for a good small turtle, but realize it's going to be a commitment, definitely the Musk turtle is the way to go for small and economical turtle, to be honest. Louis D. Fresh.